Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to do what I promised we would do last week, which is 3 looks, 1 palette with the Adept Cosmetics Inspired Palette. This was released earlier this year as a preview sale of sorts at the beginning of the year. And during that time, they did promise that they were going to be releasing it later in the year. And I think the final release, the final launch of this palette is coming soon, right before the holiday season is what they're saying. So I never did a 3 looks 1 palette with it, and I thought it would be a good idea. Give you some look inspo, do in-depth live swatches so that you guys can see if it's worth your money or not. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we've been having a lot of fun with the Adept Cosmetics. I mean, there's a lot of hype around it, and rightfully so with the Sumerian Sunset. That palette was a hit, you guys. It sold out once or twice, and I think they might be on the 3rd pre-order, but it's not even a pre-order. They were able to get another shipment out quickly, so I think you can still buy it without having to wait for the pre-order in October. But then she goes on her Instagram and she says, oh, we're going to do 1 final launch or release of Inspired Palette. And I was like, okay, everybody loves Adept. Like, duh. Everybody loves Adept. Their quality is really, really high. And I never did a video, like I said in the intro. So I'm going to start with swatches. The palette online, it says that it retails for $68. I'm sure the price will be the same. And we still don't know. So like what the release date is. So I recommend you follow them on Instagram. I'll link them down below. And then you can go check them out and follow them, put your alarm, all that. I try to keep an eye on that stuff and post it on my community tab and on Instagram. So go follow me too, just so that you guys can catch that. And as always with Adept products, if you use code Yadi, you save 10%. There's other codes you can use out there if you don't want to use mine. It is an affiliate code, which means I make a small commission, but I appreciate your support. Definitely use somebody's code. You'll save 10%, and this stuff is not cheap, okay? So anyways, this is what the palette looks like. Look at how beautiful that is. And I'm really happy that natural light, I'm filming with a little bit of natural light. And then I have like a dim rim light on right now. I think that's the best way to get the swatches so you can see the shift or whatever. So I'm going to try my best. Let's go ahead and start swatching. Okay, so if you didn't know, Adept Cosmetics, or Sandra, the owner, maybe even her husband, which they run the business together, they're obsessed with Star Trek. Like, that's their thing. They also love Superman, all of those things. So this is called the Inspired Palette, but everybody thinks it's, you know, kind of inspired by Green Arrow, or yeah, I think it's Green Arrow. So I say that because the names have like names that go along with that theme. So we're gonna start with the first one. This one's Frank Bertinelli and Daniel Brickwell. I've used this palette. I've swatched it before on my TikTok, but oh my god, it's so good. So here's Frank Bertinelli, a really nice, like most of the shimmers in this palette are like the really silky shimmers, you know? So there it goes, and I didn't swatch it very well. My finger was a little wet, so there we go. There's Frank Bertinelli. Look at that. Do you see the shift, though? How it shifts into like this turquoise. Really nice. Then we have Daniel Brickwell. And I'm a mom of boys, you guys, but I'm not going to pretend to know what all of these names are. I don't follow it that closely. Oh my gosh, this one's a really pretty one. I forgot. Look at that. Like a nice little berry like undertone with that lime green, but like kind of baby blue shift, aqua shift. Really, really nice. And you know, on the first 2 shades, the names are kind of on purpose, intentionally, they're scratched out. Do you see what I mean? They're like scratched out. It's part of the theme. I really don't know what that means. So we're going to start with Jason Bordeaux. This is a shade that we have seen, like this mermaid aqua shade or turquoise shade that we've seen in indie. What I think is interesting is like I'm swatching and it looks purple from here. Do you see that? How it looks purple? But then right there, you see that shift. Look at how beautiful that is. But do you see how it looks here, how it looks purple? That's the shifts that when you go out, even if you have like a really simple look and you just top it with a shimmer like this, I mean, it looks gorgeous when you go out in the light and people can see. Oh my god. The next one is called Leo Mueller. In the pan, it looks hot pink or like a magenta or fuchsia, and you can kind of see it there too, but then it's got that green flip. And we have seen a variation like this with other shades, with other brands, but it's gorgeous. The next one is like an ice baby blue, like a glacier blue. Adam Hunt. Adam Hunt. Really, really nice shade. And on all of these, I give it 2 passes because sometimes I don't swatch it the best and I want you guys to get a good representation, but that's Adam Hunt. And this one doesn't have as much of a flip, but it's still gorgeous. Okay, now we're going into the second row, and the first one is Nelson Ravitch, Monty Core, and Harold Backman. This is like a silky, this one in the middle, it's like a silky House of L type shimmer. But the first one's Nelson Ravitch. And this one's so pretty because it looks green in the pan. But then when I'm seeing this flip right here, it's like purpley with a little bit of pink in there. I mean, it's definitely a multi-chrome, but look at that. Do you see the shift? See at the top here. So that's Nelson Ravitch. Then I have Monty Core. Monty Core also looks kind of green in the pan, but it's got like a gray base, and then you see the gray base at the bottom there. It's got green, it's got purple, it's got a little bit of yellow. It's beautiful. I don't know if we needed both of those. It looks a little redundant, but still gorgeous. Then we're doing the middle one, Harold Backman. The one that I told you feels like a House of L shimmer. And this one's a little bit softer. It feels not dry at all because, like I said, it's like a silky shimmer. But it's not as impactful as the other ones, I would say. Still gorgeous, though. I've done this with like a smoky chocolate brown, where I kind of just like deepened out the outer V with like a black shadow. Oh my god, it looks so pretty. The next two are like one of the 2 favorites in the palette. I don't know, I just love it. But the next one is Isabel Rodchev. This one has like a really pretty like green flip to it with like icy blue. Oh, that kind of shade is so gorgeous. The first Jellyfish palette by Unearthly Cosmetics had a shade like that, and it was literally, I had pan on it. I loved it so much. It's so pretty. And then the next one is Warren Patel, and this one's more of like the flaky or gritty shimmers. Kind of go everywhere, and you need a glitter glue, but it's just so pretty. I don't know, I like it. You see how it almost has like, it has that wet look, but it's not as opaque. Like the opacity on it is not as dark or strong, I would say. Really, really gorgeous shade. This one looks so pretty with like matte grays and colors like that. Oh, I love that one so much. Okay, on the mattes, I'm gonna swatch them on my hand. I normally don't swatch mattes on camera if the focus is shimmers for the palette, but these are so impressive. I wanted to swatch with you guys. I have Edward Rasmus. I have kind of a bony area in my hand there, but that's Edward Rasmus. Look at that pigment. Isn't it so nice? Then I have Hannibal Bates. And this one's really good too. It's like, I know they're just mattes, but they're so impactful. The next one is Martin Summers. So definitely like a green-based palette or a color story on the shimmers and the mattes a little bit, but you know, it's just a different color story. I love it. Then we have Cyrus Vance, maybe, and James Holder. So this is Cyrus Vance. Like, it's really hard to formulate a yellow, and so look at how that looks. Isn't that awesome? And then the last one is James Holder. Probably like my favorite matte in the palette. So good. Look at that. Isn't that great? Okay, so there you have the Inspired Palette. Okay, let's start with the first look. I am going to go in with my Alter Ego Primer. This stuff is so good, you guys. I've said it in a couple of videos, but it reminds me of my my favorite, which was the NARS Smudge Proof Eye Primer. I've also been using some of their palettes, and oh my god, so beautiful. So, I do have a code with them. Code Yadi will save you 10% also. That's not affiliated. But if you want to check out any of their stuff, I am really enjoying their matte liquid lipsticks and obviously their eyeshadow palettes. But this primer was a really nice surprise. Okay, I've done a few looks with this over the last few months, but I'm going to really try to push myself to do something different. I do want to start with the James Holder, the grungy green here. And I think I want to use it with the neon yellow. I don't know why. I don't even know if that's going to work, but that's what I'm thinking. And I'm just going to blend it out. And these mattes, they just, you know, just like Sumerian Sunset, they blend out really nicely. Then I think I am going to go into Cyrus Vance here, this bright yellow or neon yellow. It's almost like a limey yellow, but it looks neon. And I'm going to put that all over my lid. Okay, I was a little nervous about doing that, but already I love how it looks. This is cool. Oh my gosh, I love it. I'm going to deepen it out a little further with that first shade. That looks great. I mean, honestly, I would wear this just like that. But let's add a little bit of shimmer. I think, what shimmer do we want to use? Do we want to use a shimmer? I mean, that's what you guys buy this palette for, but I feel like this look alone is awesome. So I'm going to leave this look alone. I'm going to finish the rest of my makeup and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, so here is the first look. Oh my gosh, I think it was the right choice to go all matte. You never think of that when you think Adept Cosmetics, and even obviously with all the beautiful shimmers that we have in this palette, but it was the right choice. It was the right choice. I've never done a look like this with this palette, so I don't know. I thought it was a good choice. Now, I will list all the products that I'm using on my face down below, but most notably, I wanted to point this out. On the cheeks, look at that glow. Ooh, that is crazy. It's so beautiful, but it's the Adept Cosmetics Stella palette. They do have sales on these sometimes, but it's just such a beautiful silky formula. It's almost like a putty formula, and I'm not wearing highlight actually. I'm only wearing both of the blush colors, but they all have a little glow like this, but look at how gorgeous that looks. I love how that looks. So I wanted to point that out. And then the lipstick, man, this is why undertones are so important, you guys, because I felt like this lipstick was just perfect. And this is the Unearthly Cosmetics in the shade Amber. Anyways, so yeah, this is the first look. I'm obsessed already. And this is also why I'm excited to be doing a 3 looks 1 palette, because it makes me like dig deeper and do different things with the palette that I haven't done before. So anyway, let's go into the second look. Okay, look number 2. And after this, you guys, what I decided is we're going to do a mashup of the Inspired palette and the Sumerian Sunset. I had posted a look on Instagram mashing the two up. I didn't call it that. I didn't know that that's what it was called, but it was really pretty, but it was really soft, very daytime appropriate. So today we're going to do something a little bit deeper, but I want to go into these 3 shades here and just build a good, strong, bold color. Maybe I really want to use the aqua and the blue shimmers. So we'll see what we come up with. Okay, I'm going to go into Hannibal Bates, this one here, and I'm just going to go into a brush that can help me pack it in there. So I'm just going to pat, 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 and pack it in there. That's really pretty, and it pops. Next, I don't know if this brush is too fluffy for this, but we're going to try it anyway. I'll start at the bottom, but I'm going to go into Edward Rasmus, this one here, which obviously is the deepest shade in the palette. I hope I don't mess it up, but I'm going to go like deep, down low here, and just slowly start to build the color. Nope, that's looking great. And I'm just like very, very lightly touching the lid. I'm just swirling, swirling, swirling. Oh my God, that looks great. Ah, I love it. Just slowly building, slowly building. I'm just building, building, building. Look at how beautiful that looks. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it. I'm going in with the first shade and just going a little higher just to marry the two up there. And then no additional shadow. I'm just going to make sure it's smooth. That looks stunning. Oh my gosh. That's so pretty. I think I might change my lip to like more pinky color, but that is so pretty. And then I think my instinct was right because I wanted to use the light blue shimmers, but I'm going to go with Isabelle Rochev. Isabelle Rochev. If that doesn't give me enough blue, we'll go into the other one, but I'm trying to kind of somewhat go over the light blue matte. Oh my gosh. How beautiful. Look. That is so pretty, you guys. Wow, that is so beautiful. I've never put a blue look together with this palette, actually. This is gorgeous. Okay, that looks stunning. I think for the bottom, I want to use this one here in the middle. This is Harold Bachman with a really focused little tiny brush here. And I'll use that on the lower lash line. I don't know if that ruined it. No, that looks pretty. There is fallout though. There we go. Whoa, that's a really powerful shade. I've used it all over the lid before, but never like in a concentrated area, so let me put lashes on. Okay, and here is the final look. I just left the lips natural with a little bit of gloss, but oh my gosh, you guys, I love this so much, and I'm kind of shocked. I mean, I've used both shades before, but not in conjunction with this like icy bluish kind of shimmer. So I didn't think I could get such a blue look, but I think it's so pretty. Oh, I love it. In retrospect, I don't know if I would have used this shade on my lower lash line, but it doesn't look bad. It looks cute. I'm obsessed with like the top half. Ooh, look at that shift. See when you go outside and the light hits just like that? Beautiful. All right, the last one's going to be a mashup. Let's do that one next. Okay, for the last and final look, we're going to mash up the two palettes. I think I did this the other day, but I did it with a green look, I believe. I want to do an orange look today. I think it'll be really pretty. So we'll use the mattes from Sumerian Sunset, and then we'll use one of the shimmers from Inspired Palette. I think I'm going to use one of my favorite shimmers. We'll see how that works, but yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to go ahead and go right into Delta Quadrant. Such a pretty fall color, and I was really, really happy with the quality of the mattes in this palette. Then I'm going to go into Pastronic Net, that one there, and just buff it out, make sure it's nice and smooth. I think I was out of focus, but I just want to blend it out. Look at how soft and pretty that looks. Actually going to deepen it up a little bit more. Okay, I really want to use Warren Patel, which is one of my favorite shimmers there, but then I also think this one would be pretty, the Leo Mueller, that pink up there, because it has an orange flip. It's actually really beautiful. I might combine them because they're two different types of formula. I'm sure you can see that, how this one's a little flaky and this one's more of that smooth, silky formula. Let me just take the first Leo Mueller and just place it over the lid. Not entirely happy with how that looks with the orange, but what do we think? It's doable. Then I'm gonna take this one and I'm just going to pop it on top because I just really love this shimmer. This one is flaky, you guys, so get ready for a little bit of fallout. But okay, I like that a lot better. Again, this is where I will say, like, I like the orange, but with the shimmers and everything, I really feel like I need a deep, dark brown, just for my preference, what I'm doing right now. But I'm going to go back into La Cienega. This was not supposed to be a mashup of 3 palettes, but here we are. So I'll go into Baldwin Hills first and see how it looks. Just at the very bottom there to give a little bit of depth. Taking the brush with the orange with Delta Quadrant, no additional shadow, just to kind of make it more orangey, if you will. Yeah, that looks really pretty. So there's the look. Let me do some lashes and I'll be right back. Okay, and here's the final look. I think it looks pretty once it's all together. It's not my favorite with that pink shimmer that I added afterwards, but generally speaking, I mean, it's a cute look. I do think that the orange makes it look a little more fall, but this is going to be the third look mashing up now what ended up being 3 Adept palettes. So let's get into my final thoughts. Okay, Adept Cosmetics is kind of iconic for their shimmer formula. I just talked about their original Plain Jane palette in my top 5 favorite palettes because it truly is. And in general, Adept Cosmetics always gets it right with the shimmers. Even the Minka palette that had the chunkier glitters or shimmers, I loved. That palette is so pretty to me. I love it. Do we need this palette? It's expensive. I can't remember if it's in like the $70 or $79 range, but it's pricey. The shimmer qualities in here are very beautiful. Not gonna lie. I mean, we gotta keep it real. The mattes are great. The mattes are great. We saw it perform very nicely. Everything looks really nice. Do we need it? First of all, if you buy it, use code Yadi. It'll save you 10%. But do we need it though? Do we need it? I don't know if it's just like my vibe this year in 2023 where I'm doing more neutral looks, my shimmers, like I'm not going for like crazy blue, green shimmers like this. I'm keeping it a little more subtle, more subdued. So I haven't gotten the most use of this palette this year. I'm just going to be honest, you guys, and I got it pretty early in the year when it released in that mystery box. And then I think with the release of Sumerian Sunset, it's just more of my vibe right now. That's what I can say. It's my vibe right now. And you have some really beautiful shimmers here. If you got La Cienega palette earlier this year also, we're going to get a little more of the icy and the blue shimmers as well. So I'm going to tell you that if you have other Adept palettes, if you recently purchased the Sumerian Sunset, I think this is a bit much. Especially, you know, with all the shimmers that we're getting. You get to a point with indie makeup, you guys, where you kind of have some of these colors, okay? I'm just going to keep it honest because that's how we have to keep it. But, you know, if you absolutely want it, you won't be disappointed with the quality. The quality is chef's kiss. They do a really great job with the quality. I think that I like when she says in her post that palettes are not limited edition. They're going to be around for a while. You know, she did say that quite a bit earlier this year, which is important to me. Seeing this as a consumer from the brand, like they're not trying to create this FOMO within you. Like you have to buy now, it'll never come back. I don't like that. I hate that. So I like that she doesn't try to do that, but she has said with the Inspired Palette that this will be the last restock of it. So if you want it, get it. You're going to be happy with it. I just personally have not been getting too much use out of it just because of what my vibe has been this year makeup wise. But yeah, that's what I can say. I still wanted to give you some look inspos. That matte look was like, I really liked it. So that's something that I think people don't think about when they think about it is the matte shades, but they're really good. So wanted to say that, but yeah. That's my review and some inspo on Inspired Palette. Let me know if you have any questions or if you want to see other color combinations. I can do that on Instagram. I'm going to leave a playlist here on all the new makeup releases, commentary, and reviews so you can check that out. Let me know what you think. Bye!